Right, hello Year 10, thanks for joining me. This video is designed then to talk you through the lesson which has been uploaded for you today and then get you familiar with an article. I won't ruin it quite yet because that will give away one of my activities very shortly. On each slide then it tells you what you need to do, but obviously I'll be explaining that as well. And the idea of this video is of course that you can pause it as we go through, and I'll tell you when. Pause it and have a go at the activities and then we move on together. So it's almost replicating a little bit of an online live lesson for you. So I'm interested firstly on the top question there. Which of these issues matters most to you? I want to pick one and explain why you think that one matters to you. Or you could add one of your own, as I put in the blue box as well. I'm just looking for a few sentences, really. So is it climate change, religious extremists, LGBTQI rights, perhaps? Tackling racism, gender equality, human rights, food poverty in the UK, like Marcus Rashford? It's up to you. You might have to actually stop and think about these as well, because you may not have considered it before. But I'm interested. Which of those do you feel most strongly about and matters most to you? So pause this video. I'll go quiet for a few seconds and have a go at a few sentences, please. Okie dokie, let's move on together then. Right, have a little think about what you know about this man already. You may recognise him, you may not. I think a majority of people looking at this slide probably will. But what about beyond acting then? Because clearly he is an actor, but what else do you know about him beyond that? And I will reveal very shortly that, of course, this is Leonardo DiCaprio. I think many of you probably knew that already, and we are going to have a look at a speech that he gave today. Well, he didn't give it today. We're going to look at a speech today that he gave before. Some different films going on there. I don't know all of them. Top right is The Revenant. Top middle is Titanic, one of his famous roles, 97. Bottom left is The Great Gatsby. Then you've got Wolf of Wall Street and him as Romeo in a modern version of Romeo and Juliet. But as it says at the top there, importantly, he's actually a campaigner against climate change, and he has been a campaigner since 1998 for those issues. So well over 2 decades he has, and he is a strong fighter, as it says, against climate change, and that's what the theme of today is. So what I need you to do before we go on to that article, however, is look up the following vocabulary which comes from it, and you need to write down the definitions. I imagine most of these are new words to you, so it's going to take you about 10 minutes, as it says there. Write the word on your page, write the definition. Let me just read them aloud quickly. You've got dogma, anew, scourge, upheaval, unprecedented, which is a word that's come up plenty of times in this last year. Manipulate is going to be useful when you study Macbeth soon. Vilified, and cherish. So I'm going to go quiet for a few seconds, pause this video and take 10 minutes to write down the definitions, please. Okay, and we move on. So hopefully you got those. All of those words appear in his writing today. And it's time for you to read and highlight the article now, okay? So you're going to have to do this on your own. There won't be time for me to read it all in the space of time I've got in this video. You are going to be doing a quiz on it shortly, and that's one of the ways we're going to know how you got on with the article. So do pay attention as you read. So as I've said there, highlighting is really key. Watch out for devices. There's some quiz questions about the devices coming up, about the language he chooses as well. And just so I set the scene a bit for you, this is a speech which he gave to the UN, the United Nations. So this is a room full of very, very important people who represent all the countries of the world. And he's almost, I wouldn't say pleading so much as passionately arguing and asking them to really consider whether they are doing enough to make a difference on climate change. So as I say, you will need to read that speech. I have uploaded it to show my homework as well. I'm going to go quiet for a few seconds. I imagine that's going to take you about 10 minutes. So off you go at that, please. There you go. Hopefully you saw there is plenty to get your teeth into there. It's the sort of thing you could encounter at GCSE as an extract that they give you for language paper 2. Lots going on in there. Hopefully you saw the imagery. There's loads of emotive language. There are rhetorical questions. He was using some direct address towards the end as well. So many, many different devices. What makes it a successful piece of writing. And ultimately, guys, it's something that you will have to try and replicate as well yourself. If you read a speech like that, what they would ask you to do is later on in the exam paper, once you've done your analysis of that speech as reading, You would then move on to the writing section, and you would probably be writing about climate change as well. Whatever the theme of the source is what the theme of the writing that you do is as well. So let's move on then. This is a really important task. It's something I've noticed that still needs to be worked on. So in the top left it says, I now want you to copy out and explode part of the quotation below, unpicking how he uses language to persuade his audience that change is needed. Stay with me, let me explain it. I'm talking about the bit in the yellow box there. You will need to copy that onto your page in a moment, but leave room around it so you can explode it, as has been done before in lessons. On the left hand side, the green box, remember firstly which words leap out at you, and I will read that quote in a minute. Labelling those methods that you spot as well. Any connotations of some of the key words he chooses, okay? Rainforest isn't necessarily a key word there, incinerated is. And the effect they have on us as well is really important. So it's not just going that incinerated means this. It makes us feel this. It makes us worry that, consider that, think that. Bottom blue, you are aiming for at least 2 good annotations of this quote, please. That is the minimum, and that's what I will consider success with this task. So let me read through it, and I'm going to point out a couple of things for you. In the yellow box, I have seen cities like Beijing choked by industrial pollution. Choked. Ancient boreal forests in Canada that have been clear-cut, and rainforests in Indonesia that have been incinerated. So I would absolutely point you towards choked and incinerated as your 2 choices, but you may be able to spot others. And 2, by the way, is a minimum. You are absolutely encouraged by me to do more. So I'm going to go quiet for a few seconds. I think that's going to take you about 10 minutes to copy and annotate. Use those prompts there, and off you go. And we move on to the final bit of today, which is, don't finish this video yet, just listen to me. Now it's time for you to complete the quiz I have added to show my homework on this speech, because that's how we're going to be able to assess. So we'll be looking at the quote explosion you've just done, but also your quiz results. Do not forget to upload the work you've just done too. Too often that happens. It's like, oh, quiz, and then you forget, and then it comes up as not submitted. So again, stop now, take a photo and upload that work, and then have a go at the quiz for me. And then that is it for today. I look forward to seeing you all very soon, I hope, for a live lesson. In the meantime, everybody, off you go, and good luck.